if they're supposed to, put things on, I mean, if they're supposed to make sure they're scanning certain things, how would they deliberately just not scan certain things on a day-to-day basis or on a weekly basis? You know what I'm saying? They would get fired. So I just don't understand how at such a high competence level or an intelligent level or at, a level where you had to seek secondary education for so many years that you make various mistakes several years into your practice or into your profession. I just don't understand how that happens, you know?
And it's not corrected or addressed adequately, not by us. I put the onus on the individual, but in these capacities, why aren't the levers of, I guess, scrutiny and oversight doing what they're supposed to do with these situations? And they say they're not making mistakes is by design. Well, that would be true if one thing didn't exist, the black letter law. The black letter law is what gives anybody the blueprint to doing anything. And a lot of this stuff, there's no ambiguity. As I've learned in the years that I've had to go through this, because I've been doing this now for the better part of, and I'll say from a more informed place since about 2012 or 13 is when I started to really just say, let me sit down and take a look at what's going on so that I could get a better understanding. And when I started to notice things, I started getting certain kinds of pushback. But what wasn't happening to, I think, the degree that would be more satisfying is people just doing their job. Like I said last week on the at the city council meeting, I don't need you to do anything special for me. Just do your job. That's it. You took the job, and that wasn't intended to be a jab at anybody, but you took the job. Nobody forced you. Do the job, especially when the rules are as clear as they are in most cases. I thought a couple of people were going to come on that needed to have a case looked at, but since they didn't, I want to go over some things that I talked about at the city council meeting for those who are still there and for those in the audience who may want to take a look at what's because it was about, hey, where you at in your case? Hold on a second, Dele. There you go, Dele.
Yeah, can I quickly say something? The system is also designed to have your participation as well. You're not to be completely pessimistic, whereas like there's expected failures, and that's why there are fail safes, like the appeals process, you could go to higher courts and things like that. But it's also expected that you're not ignorant of the law. You have to have some active participant or knowledge in it to be able to hold um these stewards accountable for their action as well. So there's both sides, there's two sides to that. And I just wanted to point that out. Go ahead.
Right, which is where I've always stood on it. But once the steward has been made aware, and sometimes, and I wouldn't know that, but I want to be careful of how I'll say this. Some of these hires may be intentionally hires of the least, I don't want to say just intelligent, motivated, whatever it may be. They don't want to, some of these entities may not want very much, may not want thinking people. It's
Right.
kind of like it's about the military.